Hello, beautiful people. You're most welcome to Footprints with Betwell. Today, I bring you yet another episode of Nweh 101, my journey to perfect my Nweh speech and, of course, learn more about the Bangwa language. And today, we are going to be talking about the compound in the Bangwa setting, in the Bangwa community, the keywords that are used to describe the compound. And, of course, we'll also talk about some household stuff. So please stay glued and check us out as I hook up with a very, very informed young Bangwa man, Mr. Tongte Princely, all the way from the US. He's joining us on the platform today to help us go through this. And I'm so happy to welcome him to the platform. Welcome, Mr. Princely, and thank you so much for accepting to do this, for accepting to move Nweh forward. Thank you. You're most welcome. All right. Talking about the compound, generally, what would you say is peculiar about a compound in the Bangwa community? When you hear the compound in the Bangwa community, what comes to your mind? What do you remember?
Yeah, in the Bangwa community, what I think is a compound is like a household not inhabited mostly by one woman, but one or two women, because we have a culture, we have a tradition that most people, we call this is a compound. It has to be like, we used to see like 1, 2 women in one compound. Some even have 7, some have 8. So it builds a compound. That's what I think. That like 1, 2 women making children with one man, particularly, they form a compound. So they share some similarities, nevertheless, but that part, like a man, a woman, or women forming children, then bringing it together to form a compound. That is what I think.
Yeah, so the compound generally has a broader scope in the Bangwa community. It's just not about the little nuclear family that we know, but it's more extensive. And I know also that the compounds back home are really, really huge. Like you have everything there from coffee at the back of the yard to sugarcane to bananas. And it's not just the house, but it's a really, really large, and there's all of that there.
Yeah.
Okay. Compound. How do we say compound in Nweh?
Alunga.
Yeah. Okay, I want to go to the compound. Yeah?
Yes.
All right, okay. Thinking about the compound, I have a couple of words that come to mind that are typical for the Bangwa community. If I miss something out, please don't hesitate to remind me if something is left out from the words that I'm going to bring up to describe a typical compound and the house, the structure of the house, you see. So let's start with the entrance to the compound. The entrance to the compound. All right, okay. You could come to a compound from the back or from the front, which is the main entrance to the compound. Okay, entrance, ncho. Entrance, ncho. And then, of course, when we get into the compound, we have the yard, like the front yard. How can we describe the front yard in the Nweh language?
We call it nzotete.
All right, nzotete. Nzotete. Yeah, I was playing on the front yard. Yeah. Okay, and then the backyard. The backyard.
Mfandia.
Okay, mfandia. All right, I was in the backyard. Mfandia. The front yard, nzotete. The backyard, mfandia. Okay. Mfandia. Okay. And then, of course, we have I think most Bangwa compounds, like in the Bangwa community, they have a farm surrounding them. I don't know if I'm right with that. Like they have a farm, or shall I call it a garden? So how can we say farm in where?
Mbe.
A farm is mbe. No,
Yeah.
a farm is different from a forest or from the bush.
Yeah. Nkangona a coffee. Nkangomba a cool.
Okay, but what's the difference between mbe and na?
As I earlier said, Nkango ana a coffee mostly means Nkango. Alami ngona, like a coffee is something like a cash crop. Then can go back to a chocolate, something like a food crop.
All right. So
yeah, but all got for no one context.
Yeah, so you could either use ana
or
mbe. Okay. I used to think that na was for a forest or a bush that has been cultivated, and it is different from mbe, which is just a forest, a wild forest. That's what I used to think. So that's why I was
the forest you talking about butong the imbin.
Oh, right. Okay. Thanks for the clarification. Okay. Then what about the house? How do we say house? The structure, the house.
Ndia.
So
Ndia.
Yes, ndia. Okay.
Ndia.
And then generally in a typical Bangwa compound, would you say there is just one ndia, one house?
No. Different
huts.
Yes, over that all of depending independent on zaza all of gangalong abong man because of the bangwa want you. I said a bondi enemy abong zendia. Owang man tan machiro when the avatar and bobo that play go by John Diego.
All right. So typically in the Bangwa community, for people who are polygamous, they have different houses for their different wives and their children, and the man has his own house. Yeah. Okay. But what if this compound that we're talking about, what if this compound is a palace? Do we still call it alunga simply?
Now what chan tong mala amma okay for for sangong.
Oh, I used to call it amma, but there's one intonation.
Ebin fana no ayam zanka na so wongo ngoro bang ngoro bo ngo ndunga tet ngo sota but mo tong la amma mo tong da
amma. So is that what Lewa people say? Amma. All right. Okay. Good luck with me on spelling that. Good luck on spelling that. Okay. Anyway, let's just try to describe the house, like different parts of the house, like the building or the hut.
Okay.
The wall. How do we say wall in where?
India. I want to rajam zambi India.
All right. And then we have the floor.
It's India. I want joke India chongora.
Okay. And then we have the roof.
Atundia just so.
The roof is leaky. Okay. And then we have the stairs. Is there a word for the stairs, like steps leading to the compound?
Come again.
Steps or stairs. Is there a word for that, Nweh?
Betie. I call them betie.
Wow, never heard that. Betie. All right, betie. Okay. Now, in the house, we have like different rooms. So, is that a different name for the sitting room and the bedroom? Is that a different name for that? Yeah. So, the sitting room or the parlor, how is it called?
D&D.
Oh, right. D&D.
Okay, D&D.
D&D. Does that have anything to do with? Does it have anything to do with like the father's space? I don't know.
More in D&D, I would go. And is like the biggest room
Space.
or
right.
space in D&D. You want all D&D. But want you have a tongue by dreaming body, but go what create and D&D.
All right.
Because at the Roman and the enemy, we someone who's a song, I go what create in D&D.
Okay. What about the bedroom? Bedroom
is called one dear.
Okay.
The parlor is called D&D.
Okay. And then we have the kitchen.
Kitchen assemble India mock.
India mock,
yes.
India mock.
Okay. India mock.
Okay. What about bathroom or toilet?
Aquat.
Goquat. Okay. Have I left anything out? Thinking. Is there any word for storeroom in where? Storeroom.
Tang.
Yeah.
The storeroom assemble tang. Tang's up from back. Chop another man tang.
Okay, yeah. Okay. But something like corn or maize is not saved or is not kept in the ndang. So how do we call the barn where corn is kept, the barn?
You have like mbanda.
Yes, the barn. That's the barn.
You have mbanda. You have atesek.
Atesek.
Yes. Yes, because onaren bijang manung atesek and mbanda.
Okay, so atesek or mbanda.
Yeah. In andung and nambo yang tat am utong le.
Is that the one that's furthest up?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll just rush through the list of the compound things. You just give me a direct translation so we can make a summary before we continue.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Compound. How do we say compound in where?
I don't know.
Okay. The entrance.
Mcho.
The house.
India.
The front yard.
The
backyard.
India.
Sitting room.
Yeah, India.
Bedroom.
One dear.
Kitchen.
India mock.
Toilet or bathroom.
Aquat.
Storeroom.
Tang.
Barn or banda.
Yeah, but here.
Lekang. Okay. The floor.
It's India.
The wall.
India.
The roof.
Atundia.
The stairs. Okay. Thank you so very much, Princely, for agreeing to do this. Your name, Dongte, I think is the first time I've heard it, so it's a little hard for me to say it all the time, but thank you so much. Thank you for agreeing to do this. And thank you for inspiring us. You are full of so much knowledge. Yeah, thank you.